So I'm gonna start this with a quote that I saw on your Instagram, and I'm gonna use it to like bookend our conversation now.
Okay.
So it's just part of a quote. So like this is part of like a bigger quote. So I don't want like it to get misconstrued anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But you said every creative knows that the journey is a roller coaster. And there's a thin line between unbridled joy and excitement and full on depression.
Yeah.
So like
I can't even remember writing that, but yeah, it sounds like something I'd say.
So like that, you used that quote, you wrote that, and it was part of like a bigger conversation about music and other stuff. But that, like, I'll ask you to explain that little bit at the end, if you can.
Yeah, right. How long have we got? It's a roller coaster, man.
It is a roller coaster. I understand that.
The journey of a musician or any creative, because it's faith. It's faith based, right? It's like, I don't want to compare it to believing in God. But if we were to use that analogy, it's all faith.
Well, because it's based on time and opportunity, right?
So you have to either be prepared to go the distance. You can go until you're 50 and keep hoping. It's just whether you have the stamina.
That's true.
To continue going, and because everybody will say you watch, like, if you watch something like a post from Diddy, you watch a post from Khaled, everyone will be like, keep going, don't stop. How long do you keep going for? And it's like when I remember last year, because last year we had a good year, and you come off tour.
This is 2017, right?
2017.
Yeah.
Come off tour, and you're waiting for the next like tour or big show to come in. That's the fine line, because if it doesn't come in for 2 months, because then you're like,
questions start to hit your head.
Like, yo, what can I do? You're calling your booking agent, like, hey, what's going on? And that's where it's like unbridled joy. Out of nowhere, you're going on tour with Neo. Okay.
Yeah.
Come off tour, you just put out a song. Yeah, it's not really hitting the way it's supposed to. Okay. What do I do now? What do we like? You got to be reactive, and the plan's there. But the thing is, the plans these days, they don't mean anything, because what people always tell you, but nobody knows at all what's going to happen. Yeah. Nobody knows how that song's going to do. Yeah. Nobody knows. And the game and everything has shifted since the advent of streaming and
that's changed the game massively.
In a massive way.
Well, you also got meme culture at the moment, so like memes are becoming hits.
Listen, 30.
Yeah.
And I know the person that signed him, right? And we were talking about it the other day. Not the person that signed it, but me and a friend were talking about that being picked up and signed. It's unbelievable. Yeah. It's a music business, but it brings the business into disrepute if you're
able to get signed off one.
Not even one. If you're signing nonsense. That's what it is. Like, it's ridiculous. It's true, when I see that stuff, think about the amount that we were having a conversation off air, obviously, about knowing people. Like, we've got a wealth of talent, like real talent. Yeah. I'm a rapper. Yeah. I really rap. Yeah. And I know lots of people that really, really rap too. Yeah. But then you have 30.
You just managed to get signed.
And that's going back to the question. That's it. It's like, what am I doing here? A friend of mine, who's a quite well-known singer, songwriter, posted something that I saw earlier this year, and he said it's difficult to continue making music, going into these sessions, when you're going into a session and you don't know what's going to happen with that. It's like, and then you go into a session and you write a song and you know that it's not going to be picked up because it's not Afro Bashment song or whatever. Yeah. It's that thin line, man. It's like, I love doing this, but what's the point if I'm fighting against everything?
That comes down to your motivations, man. To a degree, because obviously you need a certain level of success to keep pushing, to keep moving forward. But at the same time, what motivates you to stay? Because you said you love music.
Yeah, I wasn't talking about me.
No, I understand that. Yeah, I understand that, bro.
What motivates me? I love music, man. I can't see, even if I didn't do this, if I didn't make any money from music, I always do music. It was something I did before I made any money from it. It's something that I'll do after. Yeah, you know. So I get a buzz, a thrill from writing new verses, writing new songs, and then standing in the studio and pretending I'm performing it on and thinking about how I'm gonna set, it's still exciting to me, you know. And so until the time that it stops being exciting, which I can't see happen, but it could be, it could happen.
Well, life happens, isn't it? And
Absolutely.
You go into different stuff. Yeah.
But the motivation thing, I feel like you take so many daily, weekly, even people that appear to be doing well.
Yeah.
Success is all relative.
Well, that's the social media era, isn't it? You're not, everyone looks like they're doing well. Because when you look like you're doing bad, you look weird.
Yeah.
Like if someone puts up Pete Davidson put up like a suicide post, it took over. Because it's an unnatural thing to see someone put that on their social, because social's meant to look a certain way.
Yeah.
So as it says, you say success is relative. It is relative, because how well is someone really doing?
Yeah, I think I learned early on, and it helped me to isolate, or to try my best to isolate myself from that position where you're looking at other people's success and comparing yourself to it, because it's the best way to kill yourself quickly. I say that to a lot of people, not in the literal sense, but you start panicking, you start sweating, you're like, and then you start hating. And once you're in the space where you start doing that, it's over for you. You know, because everybody's time is different, and everybody's journey, everybody's path, all that kind of stuff. And so if you can look at it, that also motivates me. I'm a competitive person in the way where I'm like, all right, I see you, cool. Well done.
Yeah.
Come on, bro. Like, what are we gonna do? How are we gonna move? How are we gonna move in that? Because I see this guy's doing well. Amen.
Yeah.
You know, great. Yeah. I'm happy for everybody that does well, unless you're doing some nonsense. Unless you're 30. Good for him to get his money, but don't come and get it in a sphere where we've been working hard to make this pop. And it's just it's like, for me now, when people ask me if I'd ever do acting or something, everybody play acts and all that kind of stuff, but it's I just feel like it's disrespectful a little bit to go into a field.
Been doing it
for years, and it's the opportunity is given to me because I'm a musician or something. Say I get my head up here somewhere, and it's oh, do you want to do that? I don't know what the answer would be, because obviously in that space I can't tell you whether or not I'm going to say yes or no. But I'd like to think, I'd be unless it was a small something where I could be myself.
A small part where, yeah.
Or unless I wanted to take it seriously and started going and taking some lessons and all that kind of stuff. But it's just disrespectful to the people that have been doing it and working and earning and putting in the 10,000 hours and putting in the time and learning, you know what I mean? But that doesn't really mean anything because they're still 30s.
Yeah, and in the era we're in, we're going to see a lot more.
Ton more. And you can't begrudge it.
Yeah, they play the game their own way, innit? That's the problem. And I see what you mean, where when it starts to, dilute the quality of music, that's when you have an issue. But
the quality of music is already diluted.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That's a lot.
Very, very true.
And so that's what hurts us, you know, because now, as a country, our music is, let's say, accepted, but a certain sound. We're known for a certain sound now, and that's you put on Capital Extra.
Well, I was say speaking to my girlfriend recently about it, actually. If any song that pops has the same kind of beat, the same beat, the same tone. If you listen to every the songs that are
I'm listening.
You can hear it. You hear it. It's why is it always that same? But
that's the thing, though. It's not. It's if you're an artist, you know, I've got friends who do music who are I'm gonna make one of those kind of songs because that's what's current. If you're a DJ, you're playing a song in a set. Yeah. When you're mixing songs, mixing similar kind of songs from the UK.
Yeah.
If you make an Afro bashment song, Afro pop song,
You're gonna get in those.
You're gonna get in that. You're gonna get in that playlist. Your name's gonna pop a little bit if you know. So they're like, I need to jump on that wave, and the reason why they're doing it is because they feel like that's the only way that they can get a foot in, because that's what the industry's showing us. That's what it's showing us, that look, you can't, unless you do that or unless you do drill. Those are the only two avenues for you right now. And it makes sense. I understand it. It's like, it's formulaic. Go and do that. Or, because I can't do that. It's just not me. I never made one of those kind of songs in my life. I never will. And it's not that I don't like them or think that some of them aren't good. It's just, that's not the kind of music I make. And I've never been one. I've made my life very hard by not being somebody who is in the lane, the mainstream, as in the commercial world. Is that a bad thing though? It's not a bad thing for me, because when it does pop, I'm here. I'm here.
Well, you got your catalogue when it pops.
Yeah,
that's the difference.
But when it does pop, I've forged my own thing, and I'm always going to be there because that's who I am. It's not forced. It's not fake. It's not fixed. If I make an Afro pop song now, I have to be that person. Yeah. For a while.
Is that why a lot of acts, they'll have their one moment and that'll be it because they can't be that character going forward?
You have to play a role. Yeah. That's not you. Yeah. That's not the music you were making. You made that music, that song to get you, and that's what a lot of people say, just make that song to get you in, but afterwards, what do you do next though? What comes next after that song? That's
why a lot of people drop off.
Because you don't know. You don't have the answer. Because then you want to go back to doing what you did before, but hold on, that doesn't, and the consumer's like, that doesn't sound like,
that's not the person they came to.
That's not the person that I came, I'm not going to see that show, because he's only got one song like that, and I liked him for that song. So then either you have to keep doing that, and then at the end, I'm all about, I want to be happy, bro. Like, I want to be rich too, but I want to be happy. Am I going to be happy doing something that doesn't make me happy and have money? The answer for me, I already know the answer is going to be no.
That's an answer. No's the answer for most people.
But it's people would still do it though.
No, they'll do it, but they're not really happy.
No, they're not.
Yeah,
so
that's when the whole mental health and stuff comes into it, because now you're beating yourself down.
But that takes me back to the first question, the quote that you, mental health, like musicians, there's a thin line, and it's just because you don't talk about it, but there's a thin line between, I can't even remember the quote, but depression is a very real thing in the music industry, and I can only speak as a musician. Of course, it's like something that's prevalent in other industries too, but it's because, let me give you an example. When you're on stage, when I'm on stage, I don't drink, I don't take drugs, right? I might as well be on heroin when I'm on stage, right?
You've got a natural high from being on stage, right?
It's just a different. Yeah. On tour, here. You come off tour, the tour blues, that's a real thing. It's like, because you don't know what's next. Unless you're like top tier, 250 days a year you're on tour regularly. If you're like an upcoming mid-tier, low-tier artist, you're looking for that next tour. You're looking for that next show. So you're waiting and it's not coming. Yeah. That's when depression starts setting in. And it's no wonder that performers and entertainers get addicted to drugs, because the high that you have when you're here, it's not sustainable. You can't sustain that from just normal life, because it's not normal life when you're on the road and when you're touring. So when you come off or when you're doing it, drugs. And then there's how many major, Amy Winehouse, Hendrix, Kurt Cobain, all of these, like,
Mac Miller,
you have to be, you got to be susceptible first of all also. But that leading that life and having that roller coaster of those highs and needing to maintain them, you look for, what can I do to maintain that? Because normal life is normal. And when you're doing shows every night and performing to however many people and you're feeling that rush, you have to sustain it in some way, you know? And that's why there's a crash.
That's true. So, like, you speak with a lot of passion as a musician, and that's something that isn't always there when we've spoken to people in the past, like about music. Like, you see, like a general interest, not even general interest, but like an understanding of the game. So, like, where did that passion for music come from? Like, who were your artists growing up? Who you listened to?
So I just moved into a new place, right?
Yeah.
And I built a studio in one of my second bedroom.
Nice.
And I was thinking, I need to get some art on the wall because there's a Liechtenstein on the wall. I was thinking, who am I going to put up there? I thought, obviously Kanye, because that's who. Like, I produce and I rap. It's like, who else? Yeah. Who else has done it to that level?
Yeah.
And if you ask anybody, most people tell you, if they're like, rap guys or whatever, so who's your favourite? They're always going to name the greats. Well, I think you should name the greats. I know it's subjective, but not really. If we have a conversation, and you tell me that anybody other, if Jay-Z's not in your top 5, I'm not having a conversation with you after that about rap because you don't know about rap. But let me suggest. It's suggested to me.
The reason I'm 50-50 on it. Like, I am. I'm sorry. Like, the reason why I am because, like, I get it. Jay-Z is a great. I'm not saying to deny that, but I feel like his greatness for top 5 is not just will have to go beyond the music. So, like, in terms of business side and what he's done for musicians in that area, the whole package puts him top 5.
Nah, you're wrong, bro.
Alright, go on. Explain to me.
There is no other rapper. There is no. But I'm not to put words into your mouth. But the reason why I feel that you would say that is because you haven't listened to his whole catalog.
No, I haven't listened to his whole. I haven't listened to it.
And I knew that.
Yeah.
Because if you had, you couldn't sit there and say that to me.
Okay.
No, never. It's not possible. Because he is a genius. Lyrically, as a writer, let's like put it into the sphere of songwriting, right? Nobody, not one man. Just different echelon of the way he puts words together, effortlessly, and in a way where the pictures are so vivid. I don't need to drop a name. I need to talk about the Ferrari. I can take you on a journey with these words, and you feel like you're even.
That's true, you know.
But do that once, fine. Twice, 3 to 4 times on
multiple
13 albums, 14 now with the Beyonce one, and then just turned 49, and then you drop a verse on Meek Mill's album that is the verse of the year.
Oh, that banged. That was that banged.
That's why only you can be number one. Take being worth 900 million and everything you've done for the culture out of it. Talk about the music. Talk about the pen. Different.
I hear that. I can't argue that.
I forgot. I just started talking about Jay-Z and we were here to talk about me. No, but the passion comes from, like I was listening to Jay-Z. You know, I came into rap late though. I started playing guitar.
What do you mean by late? Is it as in late into
like 13?
Yeah.
I came into rap late. Somebody gave me an early copy of Kanye's first album, and it was like a mixtape. And I remember hearing a song called My Way, and then I would go into school, and then my music teacher at the time came. There was like a music technology course, and he last minute said, "Oh, there's a space. There's the last space. Somebody dropped out. Do you want to jump in?" I didn't leave the room, man. Like from that day, I would get into school at like, 7. Jump on the computer. By year 11, I was barely going to my other lessons. I would be there until like 7:30 in the evening, making beats, going home, writing. Come back the next day, record it. And it just went on like that. So I was listening to Kanye, go home, listen to a Kanye beat, come in the next day and remake the beat in some, you know what I mean?
Was that the first beat you made? Was kind of
what was the first beat that I made? You know, no. First beat that I made was like some grime thing. Because Wiley, Pay As You Go, all of those kind of crews, when I was in school, they were around at that time. And I remember I was called Verbal. That was my rap name.
Why Verbal?
I don't know, bro. I had some names. There was Verbal, there was Pranks, there was MST, which stood for Master. Oh boy, wow. I had some. Oh, but can I remember any bars? I don't even think I want to. But, oh boy. But yeah, that's how you start, innit? That's how you start. And true. I remember going through phases of rapping like everybody. Yeah. So I was listening to a lot of Eminem at the time. Yeah. I had this big yellow, you know them school textbooks?
Yeah.
Big one. Yeah. Science one. Take a fresh one. Right into Eminem. Then I had a time listening to a lot of Fabulous. Yeah. So I started spitting like Fabulous. But the thing is that helps. Because you pick up on all these different flows
to create your own,
and the same with the beats. Yeah. Listening to the Neptunes, listening to Timbaland, remaking all of these beats, and I feel like I only really recently found my sound, like a sound where, but because I'm so eclectic, because I listen to so much music. Like my first instrument was guitar, classical guitar. Oh, wow. I listened to a lot of rock music. I listened to a lot of jazz. I studied classical music for A-level. You know, so I've got all of these influences, and it's definitely a gift, but it's a curse too, because it's as an instrument, you're everywhere. So trying to narrow down that sound is difficult because you want to do everything because you can, you know. So I would say like in the last 2 years. Like if you listen to every one of the EPs from Young World, it doesn't sound the same.
No, that's true.
It doesn't sound the same. And for me, that's a great thing because I'm like, it's a different palette every single time. I want to do something different. I don't want people to get bored. I don't want to get bored. But I'm not Kanye level. So there isn't like, what does Adian Coker sound like? It's like, it sounds like everything. And from a marketing perspective,
you need to have a sound.
People want you to have a sound.
That's true.
You know? So
how do you manage that then? How are you gonna manage it for your upcoming stuff? Or are you just gonna
listen, I make what I make, man. Like, I make what makes me happy.
Yeah.
I make what I'm happy with. And now we're in a space where I don't have to go to radio and do the whole 9-week thing. I don't have to go to PR and do it. I give it to my people, man. I put it out and people listen to it if they like it. I don't have to play, nobody has to play, because there aren't any rules anymore. Yeah. So it's not 3-4 years ago where I had to go and do PR with the blogs and they had to like it and people had to say it. It doesn't work like that anymore.
Well, you're streaming, so you just
that's what I mean.
Jump it now.
So, and we've been doing that for the past couple of years. I didn't do. Oh, we did some PR on, but we didn't do much because you don't need it.
Yeah, you don't.
At a certain, because look at Russ.
Yeah.
You don't need it.
Yeah. You don't.
And not everybody can be Russ, but you don't need it because it doesn't change. What does it change? People see you, but they don't know the music. So it just depends on what hits, how it works for you, and what you want out of it. If you want people to see your face and not know your music, do all the PR in the world. But it costs a lot of money and doesn't really change much. Because I've been on every publication, been in every publication you can think about. From biggest to smallest. And that was what did the least for me. I got a premiere on Show Up on Fader. And I bring that up because I looked at it just the other day. I remember when it came in, we were so excited. Bro, we're on Fader, like the promised land. I think less than 100 views it got the first day on the premiere. It doesn't do anything. It's just nice to say, it just looks good. It's nice to say it's the look. Yeah. But what's really tangible, what's really what really makes the difference is people hearing the music, and that's Spotify. That's through association with people and people like word of mouth. Like, have you heard Adian's new this or whatever? PR never did that, unless you are at a certain level.
It takes a lot to get to that level in the first place, no?
It takes a lot of money.
Yeah, that's why there is a massive backing. And even then it doesn't always work out. So you have faith.
Bro, exactly. Like, Russ is a great example because he's booking agent, my booking agent.
Yeah.
And no one knew about him. And there was so much backlash against him.
Yeah.
When he had the interview with Elliot Wilson, people were like, why are you interviewing him?
Yeah.
But he has been quietly doing
his thing.
3.5 5,000 capacity venues worldwide.
And he's building a fan base.
That's like, he did 20,000, he's doing 20,000 capacity in America. Tell me a Russ song. But people know it because people are buying tickets. That's like the biggest thing, selling tickets.
Yeah.
He can come over here and he could do Coco over here. You know how many artists from the UK can't do Coco?
That's true.
But he didn't have any PR. He doesn't have any radio. He doesn't have any, it's all of these things that they tell you that you absolutely need. Doesn't have it. So it's like, you can't tell me anymore that I have to play by these rules, because the reason why I do music is I love doing music. And now we're in an age where I can give that music to people via Spotify, and I know that a certain number of people listen to it on the day that it drops. And then my job is to make sure that more people hear it every single time that I put that music out. So there's a lot of luck involved in it. There's a lot of faith involved in it, but there are so many examples of how you can do it without
having to
breaking, but to play by these rules that they tell you that you have to play by, because they don't exist anymore.
I hear that, man. I hear that. I do hear that. So, luck, faith, like, you've grinded to get to where you are.
Yeah.
You were a teacher for a little bit. Mm-hmm. How long were you a teacher for? Because I saw a comment on the Get Money song.
Yeah.
One of your students.
I remember Michael messaging me saying, yo, we got to take that down. Take down the comment. I was like, why? I was a teacher. Like, the problem is, the world and society has told us that you should be embarrassed by that. I've always worked. I've always had to work.
Yeah.
I grew up very, very poor. I spent a lot of years in foster care.
Yeah.
And having a job and earning money and working is never anything to be embarrassed about.
Yeah, I agree.
But you agree, but society, if you're doing something where there's public eye and people in the public eye, you're ashamed of it. It looks like, because you want to be perceived to have made it and to be making it, you can't have a side hustle. Jay-Z had a job at the height of, he was the boss of Def. That's a job.
That's a massive job.
It's a job.
Yeah.
Whether or not you want to, like, he was the boss of Def Jam at the height of like, what is it, after Blueprint or no, Kingdom Come. It's a job, man.
Yeah.
He was working. Yeah. He had a boss. There's nothing wrong with having a job, you know. And it's like, more people, we were talking about it, people don't talk about it. So more people, and at the time, like, I don't know if I could talk about it as freely now though. I think no, because I'm in a different space now, I guess. And so I hope I would be able to speak as freely about it if I was still doing it now. But at the time, I was the same, because I was told that you can't share that. You can't talk about it openly like, yeah, I got to work and, you know. But it should be applauded. It should be, because people are out here really, really struggling. musicians, it's hard to earn a living as a musician, man. If you're not lucky enough to be able to earn, yeah, even the people that you think are making a lot of money, they're not making a lot of money. It's difficult. So don't be out here struggling. Go and work. Go and find a job so that you can fund, because that's what I was doing. I was working so I could pay to do music and survive so that I could do music. That makes sense to me. And I feel like people at a certain level need to be sharing that message more, because it gives you like a good basis, a good work ethic, man. It's not about people like don't have a boss but when you're I don't know at a certain age, it's unrealistic. At some points you've got to earn money, right? Everybody has to earn money to be able to do something.
It's the currency you live on this earth to you have to work by.
You know, so at some point you're gonna have to have a boss, but you have a boss so that at some point in your life, and hopefully sooner than later,
you don't have to have a boss. Yeah. But what did you enjoy about teaching? Because you like, as a side hustle, teaching's not the option most people go with. So what was it about teaching that you enjoyed?
You know what? It wasn't even like I set out to be a teacher.
Yeah.
I just fell into it pretty much. I studied English at uni. And then when I finished uni, I started working at a studio, and at the same time I was teaching, because I've always been somebody that like, I like to be able to know that my bills are paid for. Yeah. I don't want to have to worry about, right, what's coming in this month and what's coming in that month, you know? Yeah. So that was something that I needed, that comfort of knowing that, my bills are covered or whatever. And with teaching, I just enjoyed my subject, man. You know, I enjoyed my subject, but it was never really something like, I'm looking forward to going to work today. Or,
because it's not your passion.
It wasn't my passion at all. But, you know, I enjoyed it for a little while, and then I continued doing it because I had to. Yeah. You know, until I got to a point where I didn't have to anymore. It was just a necessity. Yeah. You know? I hear that. So, but that's the case for most things, right? You do it until you can, or until you get brave enough to just be like, I'm not doing this anymore. Yeah. I'm just gonna go and make this pop or make this happen or whatever it is. Yeah.
I hear that. And I've listened to your stuff from like 25th to time, like the Time Out of Mind EP. And I remember the first video I watched was Get Money One, which was like a freaking movie. It looks like a movie. Yeah. And I've heard your discussion. You were on West Side in 2016. You were discussing the videos and the change in emphasis from doing like all videos to like less videos, sort of music focus. But you also talk about always wants to be part of every aspect of music. So I understand why you made the change in terms of like you wanted the music to be the focus. But how do you keep yourself involved in multiple aspects? Because you know you've got musicians now that'll be, I'm doing music, and then they'll leave that to someone else. How do you, like, because that's still more of an old school mentality to music where you're involved in everything. So what is it about that whole picture that you enjoy?
I don't know how to do anything else. It's like, when I think, it starts like this. I sit down at the computer. Yeah. I start making a beat. The melody, the beat comes together. I'm thinking of the hook. I get the hook. Start thinking of the words, thinking of the flow. Yeah. Put that down. Start thinking about the video. Call up Ian. Oh, Ian, it's the guy that directs most of my videos. And I got this idea. We discussed that. What do I want to do? Oh yeah, I see how I could be in the artwork. Call up someone. Yo, I've got this idea. That's just how my mind works. It's not like, let me delegate this to that person.
Yeah, no, I heard it. Yeah.
All of these.
It's just like a constant flow. Yeah.
I'm just You know, fortunate enough to be able to have these ideas and have the people that I can help facilitate them, help make them, bring them to life, you know, around me. Yeah, I can't do anything else. Because what? I'm going to make a song and then I'm going to be like, it doesn't, for me, I'm like, nah, like, the video is an extension of the song.
Yeah.
The video is just, if you're making a video for a song, it's just as important as, because give me the verse to the Childish Gambino song, This Is America. I mean, I'm sorry to put you on the spot. I know you can't.
No, but I remember the video.
There you go.
I remember the video.
There you go. It's the video that took that song to number one.
Oh yeah, that's obvious. That's obvious. That's obvious.
But, so we're thinking about like the biggest videos this year, for me, two best videos were ASAP Rocky videos. Somewhere where he's finished ASAP Forever or something about, where he's spinning, it's an amazing video. I can't remember the song though, but the video is clear as day. And it's like, that's what I wanted my videos to be like. And from Airs and Graces, like we did in 2014, 14 or whatever it was, I made a video where there was no performance, there was no rapping, it was just me stealing the car and driving around, and it was like, it got banned because they said it was too like violent for TV, but it wasn't, it's just me smashing the window to a car or whatever. But it looked like a movie, it looked like a short film, which is what I wanted to make. And I've always been, at the time, no one had done it over here.
Yeah, it's definitely a concept that's become more apparent now.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a concept at the time, no.
Pushing the envelope and doing things that were like unheard of at the time. And that's what my videos have always been. It's like, take the song and lift it and take it up. No, I can't make a video where I'm just standing around rapping. It's not, I don't want to watch that. I don't want to watch myself do that. I might see other people do it and it might look good, but those are the kind of artists they are. I'm not that kind of artist.
Yeah.
I'm not cool enough to do that. I had to say that. Yeah, I've just never ever been one to not be part of that. Because for me, as an artist, it's the music business, right? Still my business, you know, and it's my business to make sure that all of the affairs are taken care of. So if you're neglecting something, if it doesn't go right, it's your fault, because you should have had an overview of what was happening there to make sure that nothing was getting messed up.
Yeah, that's true.
You know,
because it is your image, it is your music.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I hear that. I definitely hear that. And you released 3 EPs back to back to back.
Yeah.
And then didn't release one this year, 2018. What was the reason?
So, when did that start? Time Out of Mind.
2015.
Then Connect after that.
2016 and Buenos Vistas.
Buenos Vistas 2017.
Yeah.
2017 released Buenos Vistas on Kitsune. And it just, you know, how it goes when you sign a deal and then it's time to put out more music.
Yeah.
The music isn't quite what they thought it was going to be.
Okay.
You disagree.
Okay.
And then your managers are like, let's put out music this, the date gets moved. You can't put it. So, yeah, man, I feel like this year was a tough year for me in terms of releasing for myself, because we had come off a good year, done all these shows, come off tour.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, well, I got all this music now. It's like, I can't put it out. And the date comes where like, we're going to put out music, don't put it out. Date comes, don't put it out. Date comes, no, whole year don't release music. And that was tough, man. Like, I remember having like a bit of a meltdown, going off on one of my managers, like, no, I'm not doing this with you anymore. It's not happening. I need to put out. And still don't put the music out. But we're at a place now where we're ready to put some music out. So the plan is when we drop, I don't know the date yet, but when I do drop, every 6 weeks, because I've got a lot of music. And just for the whole year, just release. Maybe I'll release a project. My plan is to release a project maybe just after the summer.
Okay. What, autumn?
Yeah, so like September.
Yeah.
But every month, you gotta hear a new song. Whether it's with a video or whether it's just standalone. But just because after a year, I owe people music, you know. I'm excited to put this music out as well. Like it's like a year's worth of, and the worst thing is it's not even the music that I made to put out last year, because I'm always making music, whether it's for myself or it's for other people.
So it's brand new stuff.
So it's like brand new stuff, but it's good because you find the sound, you find the palette, and then the other stuff from the top of the last year would have sounded dated now. Maybe not to you because you hadn't heard it, but to me, I'm like, nah, it's not fresh anymore. It needs to be, you know, because the sound changes. In my mind, it does anyway. And so 3 EPs back to back, nothing, but then 2019 drop.
So you're basically going to be on it from whenever the date is.
From whenever the date. Because the conversation, even like for like A-list names, right? Acts. If you look how Drake drops music.
Yeah. I hear that.
Look how Drake drops, and he doesn't have to.
Yeah.
So if Drake can do that, why can't we? You know? It's like, why aren't we?
Yeah, you should be doing what the best are doing, eh?
Yeah, exactly, because you want to be at that level. It has to be of a standard, though.
Of
can't
course,
just be dropping.
You don't drop trash.
Some people do, though. But yeah, you know, because the conversation changes and the narrative changes so fast nowadays.
Yeah.
An album would drop, like 21's album dropped the other day, and look, everybody's only talking about that Cole verse. It was 5 verse though.
Yeah.
But in a week's time, who's talking about the 21 album? No one.
Yeah.
But even with the Beyonce and Jay-Z album, like, yo, they dropped it out a week later. Somebody else dropped an album. I'm talking about that now. Like, so if you're not dropping, if your name isn't, and you're not dropping music regularly, if you don't drop music for 2 months, you might as well not drop music for 2 years. Yeah, Little Baby, he's dropped 4 projects this year. 4. It's like, and it's almost like, because some artists like a Cole, he's a lifelong, he's got longevity. You know what I mean? He's going to be around to be J maybe, J level.
Yeah.
But a Little Baby, he's dope, drip too hard. You see? I drip, you know what I'm saying? So I mess with the song. But he doesn't have the same that, and because he does a certain kind of music that doesn't, it's cyclic. The sound is gonna change. We had crunk for a while. But Lil Jon ain't around like that anymore. Trap, but it's not drill. It's not. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's almost like he's a footballer. So like musicians now and artists almost in that sphere where it's like football now. Your playing career is only up until the age of 33, 34, really. And you only come to prominence, say, when you're like 22, 23, when you start hitting. So you got a 10-year window.
To do as much as you can.
Now, in music, shorten that.
Yeah,
so you've got to do as much as you can, make as much money, sign some acts and whatever. So it's like, bam, 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 bam. And that's what I'm seeing these days. Like, people are like, okay, let's do it. Let's get it. 4 projects in a year. And look at where he is now. He's in like, with Gunna, what number is it? Number 8 or number 7 in the Billboard chart. Like, and that's what it is. Next year he'll probably do the same. Until he Rick Rosses himself and nobody wants to hear an album from him for a little while, you know? And that's the nature of the beast now.
Yeah, it's true.
But after that, Stinking Rich, he's put money into like startups and all that kind of stuff that they do now.
He reinvested and he's reinvented himself, and that's what you have to do once you hit a certain.
You have to do it, but not everybody can. Not everybody's Madonna, you know, like not everybody's Jay-Z. So you have to maximize when you have the opportunity.
Yeah. I hear that, man. And I mean, that shows 2019 is going to be a big year for you. A big year, hopefully.
No, we can't say hopefully. There's no more hoping. We can't hope anymore. There's no hoping. I've been hoping for too long. Nah, you know what? I feel like there's a lot of freedom in. I've been independent. I've been signed, and now we're back independent, and we've had a roller coaster where things haven't gone so well, things have gone well, things haven't gone so well, things have gone well. So what have I got to lose? I'm good at what I do. I make good music. Let's go and make it happen. So with that freedom, I mean, you can't tell me that I can't do it. If I look around and I see people that, and I'm not talking about bona fide artists, people I'm talking about. If Ferdy can pop, get out of it, man. Gotta see my name on billboards everywhere. No, you know what it is? I love making music. I love performing, and it's like there is no plan B. There could be, if I wanted there to be, but I don't allow there to be a plan B because this is how I make my living. This is how I want to make my living. For the rest, I don't think I'm gonna be rapping when I'm 45, but until there's a time where I'm like blocked and I can't think of, you know, it's like, this is what I want to do. This is what I feel like this is what I'm supposed to do. I can't think of anything else that I love as much. Yeah. It's not even that. There isn't anything else that I love doing as much at all. Yeah. When I wake up in the morning, I'm thinking about music. When I go to sleep at night, I'm thinking about music. When I'm in the shower, when I'm driving, pick up my phone, it's notes. I'm thinking, you know, and it's like eat, sleep, music. And it would be a waste. Somebody messaged me the other day on DM me, sent me this long sermon about how why haven't I released music this year? And it would be a shame if the world were to not have any more Adian Coker music. And that was nice because I was like, yeah, it's true. It would be a shame if and it's not just for me, it's for people that I respect that maybe haven't got the recognition and the shine that they should have. Do it for yourself. Unless you lost that spark, unless you lost the passion for it, then you can hear it in the music. But put out music for yourself, man, because there are so many artists out there, thousands, literally, who you've never heard of that are eating nicely and chopping from streams, from doing shows, from touring. Never heard of them, but there's an avenue for most people. Really, it's just whether or not you give up before you hit that sweet spot.